Hi everybody, Stephanie here. Today I figured I'd talk a little bit about Daymond John's free event and figured I'd provide a review, especially considering that I've read quite a few reviews and they were very negative. So my hope is to provide more of a balanced review. So I personally enjoyed it. I really liked it even though Daymond John wasn't there. Thankfully, though, I went knowing Daymond John wasn't going to be there, which apparently some people did not know Daymond John was not going to be there. So thankfully I knew that. But at any rate, there are 4 things in particular that the event promised to cover and things that you would like leave with, for example. Okay, so 4 of those things are to take action, right? To spot opportunities, to create cash flow, and then secure funding. They did all of those things, but I will tell you, not in the way that I was looking for. Again, I enjoyed the event. I did take a lot from the event. I'm gonna go to Mr. Wonderful's next week, and he will be there at that one, so I'm excited. But this one, so it was a sales pitch, without a doubt. You need to know if you're gonna go, it is a sales pitch. It does not mean, though, that there are not golden nuggets throughout that sales pitch, because there are. You also should know, though, that this really is more for beginners. A lot of the information that was provided, a lot of people already did know. So it is kind of one of those things that unless you're going to invest in the money for their 3-day programs, it may not be worth your time to go. At any rate, so taking action. So the speaker did a really good job as far as inspiring and motivating, I think, at least as far as myself in wanting my own business, and the importance of having your own business in multiple businesses at that, really not just one. Then as far as creating cash flow, that one I feel like that was the only one really that they did a really, really excellent job on, because I do feel like you were able to leave there and apply that knowledge to create more cash flow. But again, you have to remember all 4 points were really leading up to getting you to invest your money in this $2,000 program. And then as far as spotting opportunities and secure funding, that was really only like spotting opportunities. Yeah, the opportunity that they are going to provide you this 3-day program for $2,000. It's actually really not $2,000 if you bring a friend and you split the cost. Then it's really $1,000 for this 3-day program. And they offer 2 programs. One was a service and product program, and then the other program was for real estate. So those are your opportunities that you're spotting as far as I'm concerned. The secure funding. That one I feel like it went hand in hand with creating more cash flow. So it wasn't like teaching you how to create cash flow or more cash flow within your business. Okay, so that is the problem with this. And it wasn't secure funding for the business you currently own. Okay, this is more like creating cash flow through different avenues to secure funding for the business you have. Okay. Then with all that being said, the secure funding is more in line with if you go to these trainings, then you will have secure funding. So one of the trainings especially was the real estate training. So if you took this 3-day training, then they would provide you X amount of money, right, to invest in real estate. And then if you profited off of that real estate, right, that would be basically creating more cash flow for your business or products that you have. But that was really what I saw in regards to the secure funding. I'm not really sure what other people saw. And again, also know that they do provide a guaranteed cash back little clause there. I don't know how hard it is to get cash back, but they do say if you don't make X amount within 6 months, as long as you put all the effort in that you're supposed to, then they will reimburse you the money that you spent on the training. Okay? So just know you're going in. It's going to be a sales pitch. You're not going to get what you're probably thinking you're going to get out of it, out of this training. It is different in the way that they do it. It's not necessarily that it was false, it's necessarily that it's misleading. So it's just like the books. They promise 4 books, okay? One, I don't know why in my mind, and I wasn't the only one that thought this, because there was other people asking for the hard copy books. It's not hard copies, it's online. Then, oh, by the way, so the book that I was gonna go anyways, but there was a book that I really, really wanted. It was The Power of Broke. And then that one, you only got the first chapter for free. I was a little upset about that one. I was a little upset with that. Again, I went back onto the site just to see if they did in fact falsely represent themselves, but they didn't. The more I read, the more I realized oh, it is there. I just had to do a little more reading or looking into it, I guess. So, because that's there was a paragraph that was oh, you get 4 books. But then when you look at the 4 books, there's this circle in the corner of Power of Broke. And then that's where it says, oh, you only get the first chapter for free. So anyways, I was disappointed in that regard. With all that being said, the other thing that is interesting, and I think a takeaway for me that I think a lot of people do not take away, and I actually know don't take away because I read a lot of the reviews, and a lot of people were upset because they went into a sales pitch. Okay. And instead of kind of being mentored by watching somebody and how they just sold multiple people $2,000 worth of trainings, they were upset about it. Because quite frankly, I think if you're smart and depending on the service that you have and what you're trying to do, you could actually use that marketing strategy. You can do a free event and then offer, sale products there, or for them it was selling the programs. You know what I'm saying? So I think instead of getting so upset or frustrated about how this training event went, maybe like I said, just kind of learning oh wow, I could actually market maybe my stuff like that. And I get that it's hard because I think most of us innately want to be transparent, but unfortunately, transparency doesn't make millions of dollars. It doesn't make billions of dollars, and it's why they do what they do, So it's sad, but it's true. And so sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do to make your money, I guess. The other thing, a lot of people, as far as I'm concerned, expected a whole lot more from this event than probably what they should ever get. Try to remember, this is a free event. You're just gonna get a couple of things from the free event. You either find it worth going or you don't. I think if you're looking forward to the event, you'll go in with a positive mindset, and one way or another, you will learn at least one thing from the event that was worth going for. The other thing is too, this is the other thing that I find totally ironic, is just try to remember, you are going in to see people who are entrepreneurs. So what are they going to do? They are going to sell you stuff. it's what they're going to do. Don't be upset with them because that's who they are. Maybe just learn from that and maybe do things more like they do it, and you might find yourself making a little more cash. I don't know. And then one other thing that I want to say, okay, is also I understand that you're going in to see Daymond John's team rather than Daymond John. And I think for a lot of people that's very disappointing, especially if they're understanding that this Daymond John event means Daymond John is going to be there, okay? Try to remember that, yes, Daymond John is a big name, right? And he's worth a fair amount of money. Like, I get all of that. And it would be really cool if you could go to a Daymond John event and Daymond John was there. Like, I totally get it. But also understand that Daymond John needs people too, right? And those people are the people that help him build up who he is and increase his cash flow, right? Really is the people. So, and those people, at least a few of them, are there at this free event. So try not to devalue the people that are there, you know what I'm saying, just because they're not Daymond John. They are just as valuable as Daymond John. It's just a different name, you know what I mean? And a different branding. But again, they're just as valuable, quite frankly. So anyways, I honestly suggest that you go try it out, again, with a positive mindset and knowing that it is a sales pitch. But you will, if you go in optimistically, you will go in learning something. Probably, unless you're on a very advanced level of business, you probably won't learn anything there. But if you're like beginning, go. You should really go if you're just beginning. And especially too, if you are in a situation where it's just like you need to do whatever you can do to help your business because maybe it's going really downhill, you need to go, and you probably should go. And I've heard people say, oh, there was people there and they were suckers and they bought, the $2,000 training. Maybe you should just try it out. I know $2,000 is hard to come by, but it's going to be worse if you do lose your business. And then to rebuild that is, some people just quit after that, right? So at any rate, I say go. If not, even if you don't like it, hey, go have some dinner or something. Make a day out of where you're going, so that way, even if you're not impressed, you at least got a day of fun or something out of it. I don't know. But anyways, I'd hate for you to go and be like, well, Stephanie said this was worth my time. Anyways, have a great day. See y'all later.